Hi, my name's Gordon Cole. I'm from Cole Workwear. I supply workwear to industry, PPE and all safety solutions to industry, mining, oil and gas and the government sector. I'm at the Local Contracting Alliance event today because it's an opportunity to promote my business and also pick up new contacts that I can turn into contracts like previous events.
The LCA is a network of procurement professionals that are keen on engaging Aboriginal businesses. So we're an advocacy, a not-for-profit advocacy that meets, once or twice a year to encourage Aboriginal business engagement within the businesses where we work.
My mother-in-law, Emma's mum, came to us and said, look, there is no catering companies out there that specialise in any Indigenous flavours. You two love cooking, so how about it? Like, why not give it a go? We started it and now it's just gone chaotic. Like, we've now run off our feet. I'm actually back working full-time. Emma works part-time, also has a baby. I've got a baby on the way. But for us to be able to do these events and everything that's been going on has just been an amazing experience for both of us. And it's just something that we're so passionate about. Our food, the culture that Emma comes from, that I'm married into, has just been such a learning curve for us and such an experience.
I would like to encourage you to give a strong and real consideration to the following. Go talk to those Aboriginal businesses today, or at the very least, get their cards and make time to follow up on them. Go back to your workplaces and generate a conversation with those positions of authority to reassess how your organisation engages Aboriginal businesses. Do you engage with Aboriginal businesses? What are you currently doing? What can you do better?
Why is this valuable for you?
The good thing is to look at potential opportunities that suppliers have identified, engaging with the stakeholders, also to learn about strategies and what other people are doing in terms of engaging Aboriginal businesses, also to look at what the state is doing. The state are years behind industry, so they have a lot to be desired for, even though they have a lot of opportunities that they could provide for Aboriginal businesses.
We can all work together as a team. So basically, these are the types of solutions, and I deal with the major satellite brands that are covering Australia and Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands. And I pair up these satellite solutions and I try to put them into Aboriginal communities. The difference between my solutions and the NBN solution is the NBN solution is fixed to a residential address. My solution, I'm bolting on to a portable containerised solution that can shift to another point and provide ICT and comms in another region. So that's the difference between my solution and the NBN solution. Also, the NBN solution, you have to have the internet in the first place to apply for an internet application. So the guy in the middle of the cattle station doesn't know how to do that on his phone because the phone doesn't work or whatever is working. So I'm literally trying to bring that into the bush. Lots of people in Alice Springs and Darwin like to talk about it all day long too. Well, I put broadband in the bush. I put it there. There's broadband in the bush. Thank you very much. There it is. That's how.
Our business with fleet, we thought of doing fleet because we wanted to do something different to what other Aboriginal businesses are doing. So we do most of the fleet shuttles up in the Pilbara. So one of our clients is Roy Hill, Samsung. So we have made a contract there with them. We also do security, and we also have an environmental arm that we're just launching. And yeah, coming to these events is really good because you get involved with other Indigenous businesses and you can see how you can work together and what businesses that they have.
As we were flying into one of the sites, one young fella, before I landed, one young fella that was supposed to be in my workshop that day, he fell into a crusher and we lost him. And it disturbed us quite considerably to the point where I didn't sleep much and all that sort of stuff, but my ceiling would turn into a TV screen. And I started to see all this stuff that was like lifting and secure points. And I wondered why that young fellow wasn't harnessed to something while he was working on top of that crusher. So through that, I met, we were working at the time with a microfinance company called Many Rivers. And from there, we also was introduced to RSM Bird Cameron. We then went to our SBDC, Small Business Development Council or Commission, and from there we worked towards looking at analysing the industry on where we can stand. So we stood quite differently.
My name is Sharon Inyet. I'm the Manager for Indigenous Programs at Crown Perth. Okay, so Crown just launched their second edition of the Reconciliation Action Plan, so it's an elevated RAP. I'm here today to look at what suppliers have in regards to procurement. You know, looking forward to engaging with the suppliers. We're all about having cultural awareness delivery as well at Crown.
Being in the States really opened my eyes to the wonderful opportunity we have to really redefine what Australia's identity is, and then also what role Indigenous culture plays in that. So the work that we do in our company is really focused on bringing the two worlds together to redefine the way that we work and the way that solutions can be designed, because it's no longer just about what can work culturally and also not just about what works commercially. So the few photos that we have up here are from some of our work. The top left is some work that we did for Many Rivers, and basically what we did is delivered our Culturally Capable Leaders program, and we delivered it in a very intense one-day session, but the program itself is a four-day session, and what it looks at is it takes people through not just the historical context, which is obviously important in terms of understanding where we've come from as a nation, but it also takes it 10 steps forward. What can we be doing as corporates to apply and really unpack the challenges that face us? And then what is our ultimate goal? Because we all have vision statements and mission statements and strategic plans, but what are the real outcomes? And what role do Aboriginal people and communities and businesses like those here today really play in delivering those outcomes? We absolutely need to start challenging ourselves in the way that we talk the talk. Do we walk the walk?
My name is Ningley Yaron Mark and I work for a company called UGL. UGL are in the business of servicing the needs of the large players in the oil and gas space. I come along to these particular events because it's an exciting opportunity for the likes of the UGLs to understand what the contracting landscape looks like and to look at how we might increase the footprint of Aboriginal businesses that service the needs of the UGL. So we're doing our bit to encourage participation, and we're also helping assist Aboriginal businesses to grow, and I think that that's an absolutely important part of why we all come.
Coolbardie has an Aboriginal employment strategy. Currently we stand at 66% in terms of Aboriginal employment, but ultimately what I want to reach is that I want Aboriginal people into senior and to middle management roles, and I also want Aboriginal people into the back end of the business in terms of the warehousing facilities. So we want to have pickers, packers, delivery people, and that's really, really important. Some of our customers include Rio Tinto Iron Ore, Woodside Energy Limited, BHP. Although we don't do any direct work with Chevron, it's really, really important that I share with you that we've been able to engage with their second and third tier contractors. So we mentioned Mermaid Marine, OMSA, Svitzer, a lot of the oil and gas companies, all right, they're also sort of coming on board. Mentioning also that Coolbardie has been given exemption to procure state government contracts, those who are familiar, there's what they call the Open Effective Competition Policy, and many representatives from the DAA here today, all right, and so there are state government agencies that are being encouraged, all right, to procure the services, all right, with Aboriginal businesses, but Coolbardie was actually the first company to actually test that particular policy, yeah? And of course, we've been able to win Main Roads WA, the Department of Transport, and several other government contracts.
So all Aboriginal businesses based in Western Australia need to register on the Aboriginal Business Directory WA. It's an easy online registration. You just need to go to www.abd.com.au, and we also have a Facebook page. So the Facebook page is about getting messaging out about events such as today, and any other training things as well. So the Aboriginal Business Directory is pivotal to West Australian state government procurement. So state government agencies will only procure from Aboriginal businesses that are registered on the directory.
The Local Contracting Alliance, we're about identifying aspiring as well as established Aboriginal businesses that are demonstrating the passion, the enthusiasm and the expertise required to deliver value to professional organisations in Western Australia. If you've got a reconciliation action plan, you're looking to deliver on the policy, we'd encourage you to reach out to the Local Contracting Alliance, where we match buyers and sellers.